Yeah, good evening, guys. It's our second game together. 48 hours of training, and I thought it was a game of lots of patches. We've got to give credit to Cape Town Spurs. I thought they gave us a good run for our money, but we've been working very hard at being a lot calmer, being a lot calmer, playing the ball better, getting the ball in certain areas that we think we can hurt teams. And I thought the 3 goals we scored were the way we trained. And I have to give credit to them. I thought, like I said, they put in a good shift in patches. But football is made out of moments. And the moments that we wanted to score, we scored the goal. But then we also dropped our heads for the moments we conceded. And when you look at the goals we conceded, all coming in very late. The first one, critical moment of the game. And the second one that we conceded also late in the game. And then you have a team like Cape Town Spurs, who have, I think there were Springboks in the team, who run a lot. And you have a player like Cavin Johnson who can pinpoint a pass. And you have a player like Relani coming on who can hold the ball better. We find ourselves on the back foot. But like I said, football is of moments, and we were able to contain those moments and win the game. So I thought Kaizer Chiefs really rebuilding, and rebuilding something positive for the next few games of the PSL.
Thank you very much, Coach. Let's go and roll like we did previously.
Yes, Coach Velile from SABC. Yes, congratulations on the win, Coach. Is it a concern you've considered 4 goals now in 2 matches, and when you look in the fashion you've considered also some problems there, especially centrally in the defense, what would you look at this and how to solve it?
Yeah, that's not an overnight solve. I think it's always the pairing of the 2 centre backs, your left back and your right back, how they complement each other. And we've noted that we've conceded 4 goals. It's not good for a team as big as Kaizer Chiefs, but we just like all other teams. We are looking at it, and we will try and prepare it.
Coach Lorenzo from Leadership Times, like you said, you're trying to be more calm, play short passes. We saw that in the first 30 minutes, but like many times over the past few seasons, they just switch off, the team switches off and lose control of the game. Why does that keep happening when in the beginning stages they look so confident and like they're in control of the game?
The drugs we give goes off. Now, I still have to put my finger on it. And like I say, the game of football is made in moments. And you got to know how to, I think the team has to learn how to use those moments to their advantage and not be the same way, like you say, in 30 minutes, but over 90 minutes. So we need to pack a little bit more and emphasize a little bit more how to hold it, when to hold it, when to at least complete the action against the opponent. But it's a process, and I just hope we have enough time to solve that process, and it can be a much better team to watch.
What's the decision to leave Brandon out tonight, given the lapses, and just to clear the head and give him a bit of a rest and a bit of a chance to reflect? And did you also leave Flanty and Mordi out because they were sitting on 3 yellows? In other words, looking ahead to the game?
I don't think I need to answer that, Mr. Gleason. Maybe you answered it yourself. In some moments you got to take those and you guys are a lot cleverer than I am when it comes to the writing. So you can see what Atlantic does, what Modi does, but they were on the bench to play. Whether they were going to get yellow cards or not, it had nothing to do with that. And Brandon, it's a psychological thing that I do believe every goalkeeper goes through. It could have happened to Kune, it could have happened to Vume, but we need to protect what belongs to us. And sometimes you have to make those decisions in order to protect the player for the future. And I think he'll just get stronger and stronger the way we do it.
Coach, knowing how you want to play and how you like to play, a player like Ngobo, you gave him a run today, and what would you say about him? Because I thought that Spurs was struggling with him in the first half. Maybe they were a bit clever in terms of marking him, or maybe match fitness caught up with him in the second half. But
Mashiani?
Yeah, Machine.
Yeah. Machine is the young Kaizer Chiefs player of the future. I think he just misses out on a lot of match fitness, but he's had a big injury. I think a lot of you know that. And he's just come back. He was out for a while, in 6 months. So he's just come back this season, and he's shown his capabilities. And if we can get him ASAP back to where he should be, then we will play more often.
You came in as the TD, and now you're thrust into this role. On a personal level, knowing your history as a coach, has succeeded very well in the domestic league. Would you like to have this job on a full-time basis now?
I knew you'd ask me that.
I knew you'd answer it also.
It's something that appeals to me, Mr. Gleeson, but there's something bigger that appeals to me at Kaizer Chiefs. I've been to some of the biggest teams in the world, and I've worked with one of the biggest teams in the world. And when I say this team has got that potential, and I think you need to bring from a bigger team and put it in this team, but not as a head coach. The head coach will always be changed in any club, but I feel that this team is not where it's supposed to be. And maybe with my little knowledge that I have, I think this team can be as big as it should be. So there's a cloth that, for me, that needs to be shown to the rest of the world, and I think this team has got it. So whether I'm the head coach or the interim coach, I've come to this team because there's something that nobody else has. And I say it in all respect to all the other clubs, and to yourself.
What is it, coach, that they've got that others don't have?
Kaizer Johnson changed our career for the only man in the world who has built the club, still owns the club, and the only man in South Africa who has an institution like the village. And I think that needs to be exposed to the rest of the world.
Through results.
Results, yes, but just the cloth that goes through that village.
What do you mean by the cloth?
The cloth, the people that work for him, how the people work for him, why they work for this team, and what the aim of this team is going forward for many generations to come. And when I look and I compare example Al Ali. When I look at the young players, they know the generations that won trophy, that won Ali trophies. When I look at the young generation of Kaizer Chiefs, they don't know the generation of Eastern Suriname. And that is the cloth that has to go through this club that we know of. When you talk of Vina, you know the cloth. When you talk of, what was his name before? Patko, then you know the cloth. When you talk of
Sprinter.
Who's that?
Sprinter.
Sprinter, you know the cloth. That's the cloth that this man that this man has developed, and that's the cloth that needs to go to the rest. So it's important that we feel that. I don't know, you will feel that. When I talk about writers, you know Mark Leeson, you know John Dumas, you know Clint Asley. You know, remember Clint Asley? What writers they were? Vella, you yourself. So you know, and that's the cloth I speak about. Do I make sense?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Coach. The last one to you.
Coach, you rightfully said you work for one of the biggest clubs in the world, Al Ahly. From your experience there, is there anything that you can take and implement here, because it's the most successful club in Africa without a doubt?
That's a secret I share with the boss, not with you.
Like nine centers around the country.
Hey?
Like 9 centers around the country.